So JavaScript, as we know, is a programming language. So we can do so many things with JavaScript, build so many complex functionalities. But let's start easy with few basic things. And let's start looking at what JavaScript can output for us as a users. So in here in this document, we can see here it's given some details. Like for example, it can display data for us in different ways. And what all these different ways? We have 4 different ways. We have it can write for us inside an HTML element, okay, and we can also have using document.write, it can write for us an HTML output, and you can output also an alert box, like an alert message pop up here using window.alert. And also you can write in the browser console, as you remember you used before here. This is your browser console, so it can write for us using console.log that we used in our last video. So let's look at the first example in here. So this is if you want to access an HTML element. So whatever your element inside your HTML, you can use JavaScript, and you can access it as an example using document. That's your document object, your browser document, and give you the possibility to access things inside with many functions, which we'll go into through later in more details. But just remember this one for now. You can access an element using document.getElement by ID, okay, and you can also say by class or just by element, so by the tag or by name. So let's keep it simple now and use the ID. And what I will do here, I create a div with an ID equal demo, and I put my hello world inside there. So what I will do, I'll go inside my script. I'll say I want to change that hello world. I want to change it using my script. So I say, okay, my document object, it have something called get element by ID, and my ID is demo. And I will say I want to change the inner HTML, the HTML of that element. And I will say, hello, my word from my amazing script. Save, and there you can see it changed immediately. So first thing we can do is we can change an element, an HTML element content, okay. Second thing we can do is use document.write, okay. So here you have an alert saying using document.write after an HTML document is loaded will delete all existing HTML, okay. Let's try that. So we can come here and see what that means. Document.write, I'll say hello, save that, there we go. So it just went and write whatever it was there, it just add onto it. Let's add something, I don't know, here, save, and just come after it, immediately after. So it just add more content to your page. The other thing we have is window.alert. So window.alert will throw a pop-up on your screen, and you'll say, okay, why do I need all these things? Like the alert and the console log, they're very useful when you're doing debugging to try to find some issue and see something why it's not working. So these things will be your best friends with your console to debug your work. So I will come here, I'll say window.alert, and I'll say okay, and I'll see what that will do. See here? And my screen will stop there until I close this pop-up, and then it will load everything else for me. And the cancel log we already know. So cancel log help you to log your I don't know, anything you want to log. Usually we use it to log errors and see how to debug them. And that's another thing. Always when you're working with JavaScript, make sure your console log is open all the time, because sometimes things broke in your website, but there's nothing, like no message, or your screen doesn't crash, but there's actually error in your console which you don't see it, you don't notice, and if you push your website to production, it will just break without even knowing, and it may cause you a lot of issues if it's like really high traffic website or something and you broke things suddenly. So always have your console open when you're working with JavaScript.